Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome a man who actually needs no introduction. One of my favorite people in the watch industry, Chris Granger, CEO of IWC. How are you, sir?
I'm very, very good. Thank you for letting us be part of this.
It is an absolute pleasure, and the watch that you guys have donated, I know, has a very personal significance to you. In fact, it was the watch that you were wearing throughout one of my favorite events from last year, which was the launch of the longest flight, the first global circumnavigation by a Spitfire plane. So tell us a little bit about this event, the incredible team behind it, and this particular watch, if you don't mind, Chris.
Yeah, so this is the Spitfire Timezoner, which was a 250 limitation, which was hugely oversubscribed, and this is actually the serial number 000, which is the actual prototype of the Spitfire Timezoner, which is sort of the last Spitfire Timezoner that's available anywhere on the planet. And this was a project that was hugely close to my heart because I had met Matt and Steve, the two pilots behind the Silver Spitfire expedition, many years ago in Goodwood, and we always said we wanted to do something together, and at the time it didn't work out. But we talked about the fact that we're really trying to get to the engineering and design story of the Spitfire, because RJ Mitchell was a racing aircraft designer, and I really think the Spitfire is such a nimble airplane. It's so beautiful. It really is a racing car for the sky, and I always wanted to bring out that story rather than just the military, the Battle of Britain story and all of that. And years later, we bumped into each other because we did a conference in Goodwood with my colleagues, and we walked into that hangar. I just wondered if Matt and Steve were still around, and there they were. And they said, "Hey, Chris, remember that engineering thing we talked about? We're actually going to buy a Mark 9 Spitfire from 1943 and completely refurbish it, polish it to a chrome finish, demilitarize it completely. We want to fly it around the world." And I showed them that in the previous Spitfire campaign, 2016, we had done a CGI Silver Spitfire, not knowing that they're thinking about the same thing. So ours existed electronically, theirs existed on the paper, and then we said, well, we just absolutely got to do this. And this was less than a year before the launch of the watch collection, and we puzzled it all together and put this huge journey together, and the aircraft restoration company in Duxford did an amazing job at drilling out 80,000 rivets, taking this whole Spitfire apart, puzzling it back together, then maintaining all the patina, all the dents and scratches, but polishing it by hand. You can imagine how long that took. And then we had it in Geneva for what was then the SAHH back in 2019. And then we flew it around the world. And it was absolutely amazing to see the kind of emotional reaction that this aircraft got wherever it went. You can imagine the air traffic controller when it's, just confirm the type of aircraft. It's a Supermarine Spitfire. What? A Supermarine Spitfire. Holy shit. So it's really, and it really brought people together. The reaction was amazing. The amount of formations that came out, flying teams that came out, different aircraft along the way, even like Virgin Galactic and all of that in the Mojave Desert up there. And it was brilliant. And we could do events around the world to see this aircraft really touring many countries it's never been to, flying around all the challenging weather conditions and clouds and over the polar ice cap, which is absolutely difficult to do. It's the most disorientating thing. Getting stuck in a major monsoon rain in Japan for weeks on end, and then coming back across the desert in the Middle East, and then back into Europe and landing safely in Goodwood last year. And this has been really a hugely emotional journey, and one that's never been done like that before. With two pilots who've been absolutely amazing, and I think it's a story that is, yes, it's technical and engineering, but at the end of the day, it's very human, from the design to the piloting to all the things that weren't quite planned and that happened along the way, the improvisation skills, the decent amount of partying and piss-ups that happened along the way as well. It's been absolute joy, and I thought it made sense because that is a story that sort of connected the world really nicely in our little world. And now what we've seen about the response to COVID, people working together, empathy, collaboration really being the key words, we thought that this might be quite a meaningful watch to donate to this auction and hopefully raise a bit of money for the COVID cause.
Dude, that's such an awesome message. I love the fact that it's a watch related to, circumnavigating the world and connecting the entire experience of going around the world in a 75-year-old aircraft that has a normal fuel range of 700 miles, which is quite impressive.
No oxygen system, no pressurized cabin, but a Spotify playlist.
Excellent.
On that note, by the way, Matt Jones very kindly confirmed last week that he's going to donate one of the original flight suits to go along with the auction lot, and I just hope that it's been dry cleaned. I really do, because imagine with these long flying stints and these connections. But no, it's amazing. It's a bit of aviation history. It's probably the only time this will ever be done in a Spitfire, and I think it's a great piece to own.
That's awesome. So why don't we pull up a picture of the watch? And so this is the prototype of the now massively oversubscribed and completely sold out longest flight IWC Spitfire Timezoner. And this is such a cool watch. And it's on your wrist right now, Chris, and soon to be hopefully on the wrist of someone very well deserving. We just checked it. We launched the auction. We launched it, I think, just on over the weekend, and it's already at $8,000 US, and we still have 7 days to go. So it's one of the strongest lots, and it's just killing it. We love this one.
This has the unique Timezoner, the patented Timezoner function that we often talked about. Way, so it's basically a pillbox that is secured outer bezel, and you can simply adjust your time zone by pushing down on the bezel, putting the time zone you want at 12 o'clock. And then you can see that the entire watch movement is synchronized to that time zone, even across the date line. So the watch never actually stops. It doesn't lose a second when you change it, even forwards and backwards across the date line. So it's the simplest Timezoner system, user-friendliest Timezoner system out in the market. And it really allows you, if you're traveling a lot after COVID-19 lockdown, to very simply switch between home time, different time zones, etc. So it's incredibly practical as it is evocative, and obviously you have that Spitfire engraving on the back of the longest flight. And actually, I remember wearing this on the way back from Goodwood, and I was at London Heathrow Airport, and there is a major retailer of ours at London Heathrow, and I walked into the store just to do my usual store check, and the gentleman behind the counter, they got a bit interested about my watch and said, "Wow, that's cool. Where did you get that from? We never get these watches around here in duty free." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a Spitfire Timezoner." "Oh, can I have a look, sir?" And I passed it over, and they inspected the engraving and went like, "Gosh, that's like number 000." And I was like, "Yes, it is." It's like, "Wow, you must have some connections to IWC to get that."
I didn't realize you were the CEO.
My greetings to the two gentlemen in Terminal 5 of Heathrow. Nobody normally gets hold of a 000 prototype of anything we do, because they obviously either go to the museum or they're disassembled after we use them as prototypes. But this one will be on the wrist or in the collection of one lucky owner, and I hope that we can get a maximum of money raised for the COVID-19 auctions.
So guys, you heard it here. They normally never allow the prototypes to leave the manufacturer. They're usually destined for the museums. But in this instance, the watch 00 prototype, the watch that Chris Granger wore throughout this entire launch, is going to be available for one of you lucky guys to own. And it comes in addition with that with a flight suit for Matt Jones, who's one of the two pilots that circumnavigated the globe in this amazing Spitfire. And probably Matt's suit would probably fit the majority of people better than I would imagine Steve.
Yes, and having said that, guys, I'll also throw in one of the mission accomplished patches, wherever you want to stick that.
That's amazing.
They're also out of production and no longer available, so straight from my desk, that is. You've got a choice here. You've got a choice. We've got Top Gun. No, we're not going to go into that.
Oh, are you doing something with Top Gun, Chris? I didn't realize that.
What's that? Sorry?
Are you doing something with Top Gun? I had no idea.
No, sorry. This is the official Top Gun patch of Fallon.
Oh, I see. Okay, so maybe we'll pull up a picture of the watch so people can take a nice close-up look at it. And this is the dopest, okay, I think the funny thing that I always say is the day that you can afford a world time or multiple time zone watch is probably the day that you can't read it anymore because you've gotten so old like me, with the exception of this watch. This has got the best way of configuring the multiple time zone watch. So basically you've got this incredible command bezel, and you grab the bezel and you just turn it to whatever city that you want to read the time in, and the hands and the 24-hour indicator will follow in addition to that. And on top of that, the date will also follow backwards and forwards as well, and you can do this all without losing a second of time in terms of the synchronization, because the seconds just keep going. Chris, did I get it right?
That's it. I mean, you've got a job, Way. This is unbelievable.
Thank you. I'm thinking about starting off in watch journalism because of quite
you could always start in online sales right from the office there, killing it.
Hey, I just realized it also. I'm sorry, I should have realized this before, but you've even got indexes on there for daylight savings time, which is brilliant because most watches don't. So if you look at where London is, for example, the little S on the side, that means that during daylight savings time, you can just go to there and then you'll have the accurate time.
Correct.
You don't get that on no Patek Philippe, bro.
No, absolutely not.
So amazing watch. Chris, thank you so much. This is an absolute pleasure, honor. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Wade. Good luck with the auction. Thanks for the amazing initiative, and I hope we're getting lots and lots of bids. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a wonderful day.
All the best. Cheers. Thank you.